it's got a great context. However, I must add, in the Indian context, if you say use the F word before the mother, then I'm being derogatory towards you. So the effing means I'm trying to be derogatory. But in every sense of the word, it has a good connotation. Say, he's a mother. He's the mother.
So tell me, you grew up in Durban, mum and dad, brothers and sisters, a normal life.
Yeah, I'm a pretty average citizen. I mean,
finished matric. Did you do matric? Did you go to university?
I did matric, and I went to university. And maybe there I can pick on something. You know, earlier on you mentioned that a lot of comedians got into politics and all of that. And strangely enough, and I must say, mostly in my own community, to be honest, people sort of classify me as a comedian, being a clown, being an idiot, that I've got no sense of brain work. They associate with a circus clown. And as you may well know, some of the brightest minds come from a comedic background, who are able to weave stories and make stories be funny and yet have a message that comes across in that context. I was a straight A student from the time I entered primary school. I was always in my top 3 or top 2, challenging for top position. I was always in the school debating team. I was captain of the sports team. I was an all-round, if I may say so, a great student. I was also a troublemaker in school because I would buck the system. But they always respected me because I was smart. I knew what I was doing. And also, you know, not to put shade on today's matriculants, I studied under the House of Delegates matriculant paper, which was one of the hardest in the country. And I got a university entrance pass to study BSc. At that time, I think only medical school was higher than going into BSc, where you're doing mathematics, you're doing physics, you're doing biology. I had university grade entrance. You know, the sad part is that there was such a big jump from school to university that I didn't really cope. The gap was too big. And I had no support system. My dad had died when I was 7, 8 years old. My aunts basically paid for my first year of university. And even at that point, I realized that, listen, I'm in trouble here. So what I did as a 18-year-old, I went up to the dean's office. I said, dude, I think I'm going to fail this year. What are my options? He said, well, if you leave before the exam, we'll give you half your fees back. So as an 18-year-old, I made a decision. I quit. I took the half fees. I went to Technikon. And then I started studying for a diploma there. So I didn't waste the money. I entered it into another avenue of studies. And yeah, that's what I did.
So after Technikon, age 22 or whatever, did you get a job or did you go straight into comedy?
When I went to Technikon, and I must mention the gap from university to Technikon. In university, my first year of... Tell her what you must, tell her what you crave, but don't tell her flop, don't tell her with the must.